Geometry. A poorly completed topic. The reason why this is very poorly done is usually because it involves equations, as you can probably see. And for a lot of students, they still haven't mastered their basic equations. So then they get into geometry thinking it is geometry, but it actually isn't. It's based a lot on algebra and equations. So you do need to know your equation skills they've got to be pretty good to get a lot of these out. The second reason why this is really bad is usually most questions involve giving reasons, and a lot of students don't tend to memorize these very well. The good news, the reasons do become pretty repetitive. So if you write a few of the reasons that I'll be writing soon, you'll start to realize, oh, there's only about, let's say, a handful of them. A fingerful of them. So 5, 6 of them, and that's really it. So let's get started with this. First thing is parallel lines. Some of us hopefully remember most of these, but let's recap this. If there are two lines that are parallel, if they create some sort of F, in other words, the angle in the outside with the angle in the inside, see how that's an F? That would be classified as a corresponding angle, and corresponding angles are equal. So please start drawing these up. Unless, like I said, you guys are writing them on your tablets already, then that's perfect. Alternate angles are equal. These are Z angles. Z angles are alternate angles. I think you guys can see that. And don't forget, these can be any way. So that's still a Z, right? Even if it's backwards, that's still a Z. So those angles are equal. These are F angles. Again, they can also be backwards. It's just the inside with the outside. So F angles are corresponding. Z angles are alternate. I usually tell my students Z and A, first letter of the alphabet, last letter of the alphabet. Maybe you can think of it like that. So A and Z. Last one is C angles. These ones are not equal to each other. So co-interior angles add to 180. In other words, they're supplementary. Supplementary means they add to 180 degrees. So that means the dot plus the X equals 180 degrees. So co-interior angles are not equal to each other. All right. F angles, corresponding, Z angles, alternate, C angles, co-interior. Any questions at this point in time? Anyone not remember any of these? Or never seen it before? Good. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at this question. Wait, anyone writing it down still? Okay. Find the value of the pronumeral giving reasons. All right, the pronumerals means the letters, right? So the letters, in other words. All right, so we need to find A and B. Now it looks complicated, doesn't it? All right, there's a lot of things that are happening. I can understand that. Just break it up. What's the first thing you see? I do see a Z happening, right? Can you see that Z? Right there. So you can straight away say that A is equal to 48 degrees, alternate angles in parallel lines. If you want this expanded, alternate angles in parallel lines. You have to learn to write that reason. If you don't, you will not get full marks. So whenever it says giving reasons, you have to actually write this, which is why this one's annoying, this topic. Alternate angles in parallel lines. Then what I would do if I found that out straight away, I would actually put it in. I'd be like, okay, I know that's 48 degrees. Right? I can see that's 48. The next thing I'm looking at is this b plus 20. And there's actually two ways of getting that out. So you can see if I draw a straight line there and these two are parallel, I've got an F happening. Can you guys see that F? If you were to twist this, that becomes an F. So what I could say, because that's a corresponding angle, that they are also equal to each other. So b plus 20 equals 60 degrees. B plus 20 equals 60 degrees. In other words, b equals to 40. I'm going to pause there. Can someone tell me if I didn't do this method, what is another method that I could have done to be able to find this angle in here? There's another method, and I like to actually talk about that because a lot of students get stuck on thinking that there's only the one certain way, but there isn't. You've got to be a bit free with your thinking in geometry. So what's another way of me finding this angle?
Does it have something to do with 180 degrees?
Absolutely. Which 180? Like what kind of shape are we talking about, I guess?
So just what I would do was the straight line.
Straight line
is 180. I would take the numbers on the straight line, add them up, and then minus them from 180 to get B.
So that's a straight line, right? I've done it really large, but that's a straight line you're talking about?
Yeah.
So that straight line there it adds up to 180 degrees. I agree. You have 48, but you don't have this angle.
Okay.
Which isn't a problem. How do we solve that problem?
You have to like minus 48 from 180 and then divide the result by 2.
Ooh, no, that's not allowed because then you're assuming it's an isosceles triangle. What Darius just said, just to make sure, he said that if that's 48, then you would do 180 minus 48, 132, and then divided by 2, which would give you these angles only if they're isosceles. But this isn't an isosceles triangle.
The angle sum of a triangle is 180, so you just do 60 plus 48 minus 180.
Done. Absolutely. So the problem was we didn't have this angle, but that's not a big problem. What we can do, we know that this is 60 and 48 in this triangle, right, Jenna? So that's 108. Add them together, that gives you 108. To find this angle, it'll be 180 take away 108, which is 72 degrees. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then now we can do, and just so you guys know, be free with your thinking. I'm showing you a different method altogether compared to the corresponding angle. And usually a lot of students prefer the second method than the corresponding angle because it's probably what you're used to from like, year 7, year 8, year 9, and so on. You've been doing a lot of straight angles and angle sum of triangles. So do that as well. Well, now if we use Jenna's idea, she said these three angles need to add up to 180. So in other words, 72 plus 48 plus B plus 20 gives me 180. And then of course 72 plus 48 plus 20, add them all up, that should give you 140 degrees, and then just subtract 180, take away 140 equals 40 degrees. So a completely different method, it obviously gives you the same answer. The biggest one you probably want to remember is alternate angles. because that one you can't actually get it out any other way for any of the questions. But corresponding and co-interior, you actually can. You can probably never use co-interior if you wanted to, even. That's how useless that one is. But anyways, let's have a look at this one. It says to find M, and all they gave me was 125. There's a few ways you could think about it again. You could think that if that's 125, if you realize, then that's 125 because of corresponding, right? Outside and the inside, outside, inside, and you can see the F that I just drew. And then, of course, vertically opposite. Does anyone not know what vertically opposite is still? Vertically opposite. These ones here are vertically opposite, and then these ones here are vertically opposite. So they're like your scissors ones. If that's 125, then you could have found that is 125. What's another way of doing it? Let's see. Another way, you know, some students would have said, okay, if that's 125, they would have realized that's 125, and then they would have seen now the corresponding, that's 125, and that's 125. That's fine as well. So you can see I'm trying to show you, don't be so strict with your thinking. If you're a little bit more free thinking for geometry, it's actually going to play in your favor. Let's have a look at triple I. This one here definitely looks like a C. So that one's easy. We said the summation of the two has to be 180. So 6x plus 3x equals 180. 6x plus 3x is 9x, and then just divide by 9. If you didn't want to use co-interior, like I had said before, I'm like, oh, you don't need to use co-interior, right? What you would do is extend this line, and can you guys see now I have what it looks like an F angle. But I don't have this angle. Can someone tell me what this angle would be? It won't be an actual answer, but how can I find this angle?
6x.
6x. And then what do you know about this? What must that add up to?
180.
See, so you could do it the same way. 6x plus 3x equals 180. So if you absolutely didn't know your co-interior for any reason, and you don't want to ever memorize that, you actually can get away without using co-interior ever, as long as you know your straight lines. And then same results. I have to keep saying that because I know your teachers will not tell you that. They don't tell you you can get away with it. But I'm trying to show you, as you guys are getting older and older, you need to learn that it's actually all connected. You can do whatever you like. Don't be strict. Let's have a look at some questions. I think if we can tell what the letter is for most of the basic ones, we should be able to know the answer. So here, there's a Z. So easy. A equals 60 degrees. Question 2, again, I can see a Z. M equals 55 degrees. Question 3, what does Z equal to? 90, because that's a co-interior, if you want to think of it like that. If you don't want to think of it like that, then you would have done corresponding, that's 90, and then of course 90 and 90 is 180. So good. Question 4. What's the answer?
143.
And what's your reason?
They're corresponding.
That's corresponding. Good job. Question 5. Don't hesitate. Just do. What's the what would you do? Someone. What's the first thing that you would want to do with a question like this? Don't hesitate. You're hesitating. Just do something. Jenna. Let's start with Jenna. Actually, just tell me the first thing that came to your mind. Don't worry if it's right or wrong. First word, whatever it was, other than I don't know. What would you say? Pick any of the words we've used.
Alternate.
Okay, alternate. So if it was alternate, then it would look like this. And I think you actually got the right answer out. So x equals 137, right? Give me another word. Forget alternate. Give me another word.
Z angle.
Oh no, give me completely different.
No.
Just I'm saying forget alternate and z angles. So give me something else. Completely. Maybe you think it's wrong. So give me something you think that is wrong.
Corresponding.
Okay, let's do corresponding, right? So corresponding would be F. There it is. That's 137. That's 137. But then what can you tell about X and 137?
That they're vertically opposite.
They're vertically opposite. So you just did it a different way to maybe your peer that's sitting next to you, but it still gave you the same answer. So is this allowed? Have I done anything in here that's not allowed? No, not really. Give me another one, Jenna. Again, something else you think is wrong.
Co-interior.
Okay, co-interior. Well, co-interior, to use that, I've got to do that. C. So 180 take away 137. That gives me 43 degrees in there. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I still need to find X. What's this?
180.
180. So how do I find X?
180 minus 43.
And what are you going to end up with?
137.
Again. All right. Give me another one.
I don't know anymore.
Sure. Straight line. You would say, okay, if that's 137, let me use a straight line there.
Oh, okay.
180 minus 137 again is 43 in here. And then again, that's a C angle. 180 minus 43, that's 137. If not, that's a co-interior angle. That's 43. Again, that's a straight angle. Can you see how it's all actually just related?
Yeah.
Okay. And I hope by doing that exercise, everybody got to see, wow, I can do it. You can do anything. Just start. Don't stall.
I
There's a
feel
lot of
as
students.
though,
Yeah,
I
go
feel
ahead.
as though geometry is something that I've struggled with
I
a little
know.
more than other topics.
Correct.
So
And I said that. I said the biggest two, I think, is usually linear. The one we did just early in the term, and then this one. That's just what I've seen all the way. Year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11. Doesn't matter what year we're in. These two are the worst ones done. Everything else, most students get their heads around eventually. These two, it's really bad because they feel like when it's taught to them that there's only alternate angles. But I just showed you guys like there's 4 or 5. I can make 10 different ways of doing this. It doesn't matter. Here, watch this. If that's 137, that's 137. And then there's your F angle upside down. So X is 137. It doesn't matter, you guys. Again, I hope by showing you guys all that, you start to become a little bit more free with it. Just do it and you'll be surprised. So let's pick someone else. Question 6. Who wants to give it a shot? Someone. Just start with anything. Just say your name and then we'll do it. Believe me, it's better for you guys to try. Someone, come on.
Co-interior.
Okay, so you're going to say co-interior. So where is your co-interior? Because they've got to be like, to draw a C, here I need to draw it somewhere else, which I don't have. And then this, there's no angles here. There's no angles there. And same thing here, I've got no line here. So unfortunately, co-interior at this point in time didn't work, but you can do something before co-interior. And then co-interior can work. So Darius, give me another word.
Corresponding.
Corresponding. Okay, how? Tell me.
By like the F facing downwards.
F facing downward. So like this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy with that. That's 100. That's 100. And therefore A equals?
100.
What's your final reason?
Because it's an opposite angle.
Vertically opposite.
Vertically, yeah.
Good. Just to go on with Darius's one, if you wanted to use your co-interior, I thought you would go 100. Let's say that's 100. Then if that's 100, that's co-interior, that's 80. And then again, straight line, 180 minus 80, you would get that. Another way, there's so many. Look, another way you could have done is that's 100. What's this angle, Darius? Right here.
80.
80. Then again, your co-interior, that's 100 because they have to add up. And then again, vertically opposite. Good. All right. That's good. I think we got that out. Let's go next. Who wants to give the next one a shot? Someone that hasn't tried it yet. Question 7. You don't need to overthink it. Just start with something. So tell me, question 7. Come on. Yep. Tell me.
It's just 30, right?
It's just 30, and your reason is?
Corresponding.
Corresponding. There it is. That one's an easy one.
That's really easy.
Next. Question 8. Oh, that's obvious. Y equals 80. Question 9. Again, easy. It's a Z. Question 10. Question 10. Is that a Z?
No.
Why not?
Well, it is a Z, but the A's on the other side.
Yeah, correct. It's got to be in here, which is not a problem. What is this angle? The one that I just highlighted. What would that angle be?
102.
102. And then how do I find A?
102. 180 minus 102.
There we go. I think we're starting to get it. Straight angles. They're going to be your best friend. If you know your straight lines, no matter what rule you use, it will work. Look, I'll do it a different way. Again. That's 102. That's 102. Corresponding. And then again, straight line. 180 minus 102. You'll still get your answer. 78 degrees. All right. I'm just going to jump in straight into question 15. Can one of the girls, other than Jenna, help me with question 15? We'll do it together. Just give me an idea. Grace, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it together. Tell me a word. Any word, like I said. I keep telling that. Just say any word. Go. We'll try it.
Alternate angle.
Alternate angles. You want a Z. That there's no angle here or here yet. But we can find these angles. No, wait, hold on. But we can find these angles. How do I find this angle? What would this angle be? 180 minus what? Minus, because that's so 100 degrees. Take away M would give me. And what about here? What would this be?
76.
Say that again.
76.
Over here. No, again, that's a straight line. So you have to do 180 take away 76. So that's.
So 104.
Yeah, so 104. So that equals to 104. Now these two are equal to each other. So 180 take away M equals 104. And that's just an equation that hopefully we're okay with. Take away 104, take away 180. See, it worked. As long as you're good at equations and you know straight lines. No geometry question should fail you as long as you know how to use your straight lines very well and you're good at your equations.
Sam?
Yes.
Don't you just know it's 76 because when you do the alternate, like the Z,
Yep.
they're both on opposite sides.
You mean like that's M and then that's M kind of thing?
Yeah.
Because these two are equal, therefore these two are equal. Yeah, that's a smart way of looking at it. Yep. Good. All right, I think one more. Another girl, question 14. Who do we have? Who do we have here? Annabelle. Jamie. Jamie, can we try it? Question 14.
Yeah.
Tell me. These are the 4 words. Wait, let's write them down so everybody again can refresh this. Alternate angles, corresponding angles, co-interior angles, straight angles, just straight lines, and vertically opposite. So there's 5 of them. These 3 are for parallel lines. These are for anything else. All right, go talk to me. Which one do you want? Do you know what vertically opposite is or how it works?
Kind of.
So, okay, I'll label 1, 2, and 3. Tell me which one you think would be vertically opposite. 1, 2, or 3?
2.
Yep. Okay, so that's perfect. So let's try that one since no one's looking like they're picking vertically opposite. So let's go for, if that was 68, then that's 68. Agree?
Yeah.
And then what do you see?
Corresponding.
Yeah, corresponding. That's an F angle. And therefore x equals 68. See? It worked. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, look, again, let's cross it out. Give me something else, Jamie. Forget vertically opposite. So forget I even started from 68. You tell me where you want to start with and what you want to do. So tell me either 68 or x, and then tell me which one you want to start with.
X.
Okay, x, and then which one do you want me to do it for? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
I'll do alternate.
Alternate. So to do alternate, you need with x, again, you need something else to join it with, which it doesn't have here. So it won't work like that. If you want to use alternate, then the only ones you have is something like that, or the other way would be this one here. So which one do you want, the black one or the blue one now?
The black one.
Okay, so then again, rub out the other ones, get rid of it. Well done. And then either what Darius just said up here, he's like, well, if you know these two are the same, then you know these two will be the same because when you're going to subtract them from 180, they'll just equal to each other. Otherwise, how would you find this angle? If you know that's 68 and you got to find this one in here.
Do you minus that from 180?
Correct, right? That's a straight line. Subtract from 180, that gives you 112. And same thing with this one. You know this is x. This bit's x. So this bit is 180 minus x. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And then again, these two have to equal to each other. So 180 minus x equals 112. If you solve for it, believe me, you'll get x equals 68. So start is what I'm trying to tell you. I can't keep emphasizing that. I think that's enough. You guys got to understand. I'm telling you, do anything you like. Just know where it's at, and it would work. The one you probably want to use a lot of, if you don't want to memorize these top 3, is these two here. They will help you a lot, especially this guy here, straight angles. All right, I'm moving on. Isosceles triangles, or triangles in general. So with isosceles triangles, we know that 2 sides are equal, which also means 2 base angles are equal. You have to know that the angle of a triangle is 180 degrees. And otherwise, the questions are pretty straightforward. I would rather not look at this because I think it will confuse some of you. Let's actually do some of these questions. So I'm going to jump to question 4. Just quickly, question 4. All right. This is not an isosceles. This is obviously an equilateral. So what do we know about an equilateral triangle?
All the sides are equal.
Isn't it?
Yep. All sides equal. What else?
Angles are equal.
Angles are equal. Yep. What else? Sides are equal. Angles are equal.
It adds up to 180.
The angles add up to 180 and something specific for an isosceles. I mean, for an equilateral. Other than what you guys have already said. One more thing.
60.
Say that again.
It's 60 degrees on each angle.
Each angle is 60 degrees. That's an important one. So the fact that you guys know that it's all the same, you need to know that they're all the same and they're all equal to 60. 60, 60, 60. So in other words, what does 3x equal to? Well, that's easy now. It's 60, which means x is 20 degrees. All right, well, what about question 5? Again, these are isosceles, which means these two are equal to each other. What would you write if you now know these two are equal to each other?
Minus 12 equals x plus 5.
And then back to equations, right? Bring your x over, bring your minus 12 over, 4x, take away x, 3x, 33 plus 12, x equals 15. All right. I hope you guys are seeing it's a bit more equations based, like I keep saying, rather than geometry based. All right, question 7. Question 7 again says these two are isosceles, which means this is equal to this. So it's always opposite. So that's how I know it's those two. So how do I use that fact? What would you do for this question? You know, those two are the same. Let's write it down. There it is. So what? What are you going to do with
5 x plus 25 plus 3x minus 20 equals 180.
Oh, too good. What would you guys have done here? You would have said, oh, 60 plus 60 plus 60 equals 180. Well, isn't it the same logic? Anything plus anything plus anything. The three angles of a triangle must add up to 180 degrees. X plus 3x, 5x, 25, 25, take away 20 is 30. And again, you're seeing it's a lot less geometry and a lot more equations. X equals 30. Any questions? I'll pause at question 7. Any questions at this stage? Jenna, you finding it easier when we're going through it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Because you're stronger at equations now, I think you will find this a lot easier this time round. Question 9. All right, a lot of things are happening, so start. These are equal, so straight away I go that and I put that in. That's 41. And then I need to find x.
41 plus 41 equals x.
41 plus 41 equals x. All right, and give me another version other than that one.
180 minus 41 minus 41.
Nice. 180 minus 41 minus 41. Work out what this angle in here is. So 180 take away 82. 180 take away 82 should give you 98. So angle sum of a triangle. And then to find this one in here, x, it's a straight line again. 180 take away 98, which gets me back to 82. Well done for knowing the external angle. But I just thought I'll go through it this way for now. Question 10 looks complicated. Everyone usually goes, oh, I didn't get it, without even trying it. So again, start with something you know. You know these two are equal. That's 36. Well, I know that's 36. What else? Do what we just did above. 36 plus 36, 72. 36 plus 36 is 72. And then to find this angle in here, you do 180 minus 72, which is 108. To find this angle in here, you do, again, straight line. 180 take away 108, which is 72. And now, Darius, what would you do at this stage? You've worked out that 72. What would you do?
You do 180 minus 72.
Right, that gives me 108. What do I do now, though? Because you just did 100 take away 72. 108 right now, it has just worked out this angle in here.
Divided by 2.
Divided by 2. That's what you forgot. 54 degrees, which gives you each of these base angles, because what do you remember? These are isosceles. So these are going to be the same. So you divide them by 2. 54, 54, and then 72. And then x equals now, of course, 54 plus 36, which is 90 degrees. All right. Move on, move on, move on. I'll come back to it in a second. Exterior angles of polygons. All right. Next heading. Exterior angle of polygons. A polygon is any shape that is larger than, that has sides greater than 2. So 3 sides and more. 4 sides, 5 sides, 6 sides, 7 sides. That's it. That's what a polygon is. And the idea is that the sum of all the outside angles actually for any of the shapes is 360. So it doesn't matter if it was a triangle, these 3 will be 360. If it was a pentagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they will also add up to 360. Actually, it doesn't matter how many sides we have, the outsides will always add to 360 degrees. So the sum of the exterior angles of any polygon is 360. One of the sides of this regular pentagon has been produced or extended. Find the values of x and y. Now, they didn't give you anything, just so you guys know. So let me scroll back up to here. I don't actually need to give you anything to say, here, go find x and find y. How can you find y straight away? Well, what do you know? You know that all of these 5 angles need to add up to 360, right? So y must be 360 degrees divided by 5. 360 divided by 5 should give you 72 degrees. And then how would you find x now? Now that you know that is 72, how are you going to find x?
180 minus 72.
180 minus 72. Straight lines. Remember I told you, up there, number 4, the straight angle one is going to help you the most. If you know straight angles, it's pretty much in everything else. So keep an eye out for that. All right, let's do this one. Can we find y and x here? Jamie, find y. It'll be 360 divided by what?
Can you do 360 divided by 3 and then do that vertically opposite angle thing?
Vertically opposite. Vertically opposite is actually only for this.
Yeah,
case.
yeah. I
So
thought
look,
so.
it's got to be a scissors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So be careful with that. Now, think of it again. You got 120. Look at it. To find x, you're overthinking it then. Ready? Look. If that's a straight line, you've already got this bit being 120. You know you can work out this bit by subtracting 180 and 120, which gives you 60 degrees. Does that make sense? Are you having problems seeing the straight lines? Is anyone having issues seeing straight lines? Then I can draw a whole bunch to make you visualize that a bit better. Anyone struggling seeing straight lines? Okay, fair enough. No? Yes? No?
I'm not sure though.
Not sure yet? Okay. Well, with that one there, do you feel like you can see the other the other angle that would be attached to that straight line? Okay, actually, that's a good. Hold on, before you answer that, a lot of students when they look at this, they see a whole bunch of everything, right? Probably the same as what you're looking at it right now. Like, whoa, okay. Well, where do I even start with this? It just says find x. Like, find x. Here it is. But it doesn't work like that. There is a way to start this off. The best way, I mean, to firstly see some of these questions, they're analyzed individually. So like if we say straight lines, that's a straight line. That's a straight line. That would be this straight line. And then, of course, that would be that straight line. Now, don't get me wrong. This is also a straight line. Right? But because it doesn't continue, I'm not really looking at that just yet. Because that would be the line I would be interested in. Here, this does continue. So that could be a straight line, but I've already used that. You see? So you start to see where your straight lines are because they're being intersected by something else or intercepted by something else. So again, that's a straight line. How can I work out this one? Just out of curiosity. That angle there. Can we see what that angle would be?
You do 180 minus x plus 20.
Like that?
Yeah.
It's not fully correct. Can someone tell him where he's done it wrong? Ooh, no, nobody?
Is it 180 equals x plus 20?
No, because this doesn't actually equal to that angle. It is 180 minus, but he's actually not. This is not correct technically.
Is it 180 minus x minus 20?
Why?
What
did he forget to put in? Help to remind us what we must always put in. Nah.
I don't know what to always put in, but
Brackets.
oh, brackets.
You're doing 180 minus 2 terms. If you don't use your brackets, you're going to write it like that. That's wrong. It's 180 minus x minus 20. So be careful, Darius, with that. But yes, otherwise you had it right. It's 180 minus bracket x plus 20. So good. That would be that. Just want to make sure you guys can get your angles. Again, this angle in here, just to make sure, what would it be? 180 minus, open bracket, 4x take away 10. Right? It'll be 180 degrees subtracted this angle. Look at it. So think of it like this. There's your straight line. This bit here is 4x take away 10. You want to find this angle. It will be 180 minus whatever this angle is. 4x take away 10. So you must see that. It will help you a lot with all your questions if you can see your straight lines. Back to this question. What do we know that the summation of all the outside angles equal to? 360. Yeah, so then x plus 20 plus 3x plus 20 plus 4x minus 10 plus 90 equals 360. Collect your like terms, add all your numbers, subtract, divide. I just want to make a quick point. Why did I not use brackets everywhere? Why did I not use brackets here? Maybe we can remember this for all of our math questions moving forward. Why did I not use a bracket here, but I said, hey, use a bracket all of a sudden for this, for what I did up here?
Because
What's the difference? Yeah?
you
Tell me.
add like terms.
But what? Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying it right. It's not so much about the like terms. It's more about that you're actually adding. You're doing this term plus this term plus this term plus this term. So when you're adding something, addition doesn't do nothing to your signs. What if you were subtracting? What if you went, I want to do x plus 20 minus this, minus this, minus this. And if you wrote it like this, you guys can tell straight away it's wrong. Because what it should have been is x plus 20 minus 3x plus 20 minus 4x minus 10, which becomes plus 10, and that becomes minus 20. So one thing you want to always remember, if there's an addition, it doesn't really matter if there's brackets. Every single time from today onwards, if you're about to subtract something that has more than one term, you see that's one term, but more than one term, you have to use brackets. If you don't, you're never going to get your questions right. Rub, 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 rub. I'm going to move on. Giving you lots of tips. We can do them. That's easy. I think. Yep. So I wasn't wrong when I said 3 lessons. Now we're just putting it all together and writing our reasons. So let's do our last component. Find the value of the prone numeral in each. You should also give reasons for your answers. So question 1. Samuel, tell me the first thing you want to write. And you have to use, obviously, the letters. So you got to tell me angle. Angle what? Samuel?
Angle.
All right, you're overthinking again. It's what I didn't want happening. Just tell me the first thing. Forget the angle then. Tell me the first word you want to use.
Corresponding.
Say that again.
Corresponding.
Corresponding. So if you want to use corresponding, do you want to use it this way or you want to use it this way? Like
The other way, the second way.
the second way? All right, let's go. So then you're going to say, so let's draw that out. So you're saying this angle is T, is that correct?
Yeah.
So then angle PFD equals
180 minus 112.
yeah, you could do that. But didn't you say you're going to make it T?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that equals to t, or whatever you just said. Doesn't matter. That's t. And then angle PFD, sorry, an angle PFD equals 180 take away 112. That becomes 68. Therefore, what can you conclude?
Therefore, T equals 68 degrees.
All right, here we go now. Our reasons. So angle PFD equals T. What's your reason for that? What was it called? You
Corresponding.
said you have to write corresponding angles in parallel lines. Angle PFD equals 180 minus. How'd you get that? What'd you use?
Straight line. So I did
Straight angles equal to 180. Done. And therefore, T equals 68. Thank you, Samuel. All right, let's try question. All right, Liam, let's try question 5. Let's test you a little bit. Let's see how you go with this one. Question 5.
Win the claw machine every single time.
Wait. Yep, there we go. Question 5. Liam,
Yep.
you there?
Yep.
Hold on. There we go. All right, question 5. Talk to me.
So I would first figure out angle PZC.
PZC. Yep. So you're saying
Doing
this angle
co-interior.
co-interior. So 180 take away 143.
37.
37.
And then I would do angle AYZ. That's going. Oh, and XZC. That's
X. Where are we? X. You could have said YZC, but yeah, YZC, XZC, also co-interior. So that's 55.
Yep.
And then of course
Add it.
So now angle. Thank you. You're done. Angle OZC equals 37 degrees, co-interior. Angles. Angle YZC equals 55, also co-interior. Angles. Therefore, M equals 37 plus 55, 92. I don't think I need to say it again, but I will say it one last time. Don't think for 1 second that's the only way. Everybody that's looking at it, don't feel like that's the only way. If you thought you wanted to use alternate, there it is. You could have. That's 143, right? Alternate, and that's a straight line. So you could have done 180 take away 143 and found this one as 37. Again, alternate, that's 125. And then you could have done 180 take away 125. You could have got 55 and then added them, or you could have done alternate, and then, can someone tell me another way of finding M? Without doing the 180 takeaway? I know these two now.
Add them.
And add them and
There's a 360.
yeah, right. Revolution. You now know this whole size. So you can do 268 subtracted from 360. So M can also be 360 take away 268 degrees. Completely allowed. That also gives you 92. See, completely different method. So I hope you guys don't feel like you got to be so strict with your math. Actually give it a shot. That's the best tip I can give you. Just do what you would do, and believe me, it would work. As long as you're not going up here, like you start using, co-interior up here, something. So don't do that. But if you keep it within the boundaries of the question, it would really, really work. You'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised. Okay, and I think I'm going to pause it there. How long we've got? I think I'll pause it there because I know